is it possible on this video to get the new react, the hug?
Where the people are hugging the heart?
The hug react, is that possible? If it is, please send us some care.
Yeah, we're gonna try everything we can to get everybody to send us some heart reacts with the new emoji. Oh yeah.
It's not heart reacts, it's different. You have to break it down.
It is, it's an emoji hugging a heart.
Yeah, I know. There's something interesting going on.
So if you could have your own emoji, what would it be?
I'm glad you asked this question because I have thought of it a lot.
What is it?
Since we're wired with a sense of disgust, like there's some foods that you're like disgusting, right?
Right.
There are some people or other content online that you would be like, this is disgusting. So we need a puke emoji. It'd be the perfect reaction because you're like, I don't hate you, but gross.
It sucks because on your keyboard there is a puke emoji. So if you're sending somebody a message, you can hit the puke emoji. But
yeah,
for
but it's
Facebook
not
like right now.
It's not the same.
They would have to send it as a comment instead of just. Yeah,
if it's not the same as seeing them float by, puke just float by. Oh, they're disgusted. These people are disgusted.
There's 8 people watching right now. They're wanting a puke button to press because they're sick of us talking about the puke emoji.
I'm just glad you care.
All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to the Teamsam Friday Night Podcast. This is episode 6, I believe. Episode 5 or 6. I can't believe we've done 5 or 6 of these already. And this has been a very interesting week at our studio. We're not allowed to say why, but let's just say that we're preparing for things to start to reopen again so that we can start to get our clients back in here. We're also starting a huge summer challenge at the end of this month. So that's been my big deal.
I'm excited about that.
That's been my big deal this week. Advertising it, getting it out there because the challenge begins May 25th. I know that's quite a while from now. But if you sign up early, you get big discounts. So those of you that sign up between now and Sunday, you get the full $30 discount. We've already had several people sign up.
I signed up today.
Jordan signed up today. Quite a few members. Several new members are in on it. Now, every time that we do a challenge, we have a large number of participants, especially the New Year's challenge. But the summer one is unlike anything else. Our summer fitness challenge is always the biggest one of the year.
Dude, this one is like epic though. This is a millennial once in 100 years, a centennial challenge because it's coming off of an epidemic, a pandemic where people had to stay at home and get fat and everything. This is our comeback.
This will go down in history.
This
challenge
comeback.
will. This is the Corona challenge. This is the COVID challenge. So anyway, the summer challenge is always our biggest one because people are wanting to get ready for their bikinis. They know they're going to be out with their shirts and shit off. They're wanting to look their best. And so this is that great like last run at hitting your goal body for the year. Because once summer's over, then the cold weather starts to hit and then people start putting all sweaters and jackets and shit like that back on. So the summer challenge is always big. This one's also a cash prize challenge. So the winners of this will be getting money. But that's not what makes the summer challenge awesome. The thing that makes the summer challenge so cool is that we throw a big party to announce the winners. And every year we do a big fancy one.
Is it on an island?
It might be this year.
Oh.
We might take the studio and cover it in water and turn it into an island.
You're like Caesar with the Colosseum. one navel.
So every summer we throw a big party to announce the winners for it. And it's always like a fancy one. So last year we did the party at a winery, and the year before that we were at Chase Park Plaza. And we had it set up like it was a total red carpet affair and handed out awards.
I saw that.
And it wasn't just like the challenge winners. At these we will hand out awards for a lot of like bullshit categories. So like sweatiest client and person that whines the most and shit like that. And then at the end we present big Publishers Clearinghouse style checks.
It's like the Dundies.
It's like very much like the Dundies.
Like the
It is just like the Dundies.
That's awesome.
I tried to not be like Michael Scott, but I don't think I have any control over that.
You were already like that.
I'm already like Michael Scott. So yeah, the challenge, we're going to talk about that during the podcast, but I want to do that a little bit later on. Instead, we want to get to the interesting part of our podcast, and that's what we do these for.
Do tell.
We need a topic every week that gets you guys thinking, something that applies to fitness, but you can also take that and you can apply it to anything in your life. And so the topic of today is all about environment and how environment can affect your mood, and environment affects your motivation. Environment can affect everything. And Jordan knows a thing or two about that, about environment. He actually grew up on a rickety old steamboat, and it was constantly bombarded by water and waves, and it was stinky.
Was plucky. It was a plucky steamboat.
So growing up on a steamboat under such bad conditions, how did that affect you mentally?
Mainly it was the whistle. So I just have this one channel of reaction, which is whistle reaction.
Right.
But it turns out several other things that can happen in life will trigger this same whistle reaction.
What does that whistle sound like?
An infant crying. It's soul piercing.
So it makes your ears bleed.
It does.
It makes your ears bleed. So environment is it's key. It's key to keeping motivation. It can be key to starting motivation as well. A very good example of that, during all of this shutdown, people have been forced to work out at their homes. They haven't been able to go to the gym. And I have had so many members, I have so many clients that have told me how hard it is for them to work out at home, because even though they might have weights, they might have equipment, they even have the videos. We're doing all these videos, but they're saying it's so hard because they're not in the actual gym environment.
Yeah.
They're not around all of their workout
huge.
friends. They're not around their workout community. And so even though they're trying,
huge.
they said it's definitely not the same as being in here. Now, when we created the studio, I always had that in mind, is how much the environment impacts how somebody feels or how much they want to work out. That is why you see much red around here. That's why we created the red room. In fact, for those that have only watched the podcast, if I start to turn this thing, you can see we've got like a difference here. We got black on one, red on the other. But as you see, the red turf, the red boxes, we even got the red lights, like it's Orange Theory or some shit. Only we're way more fun than Orange Theory.
It has character.
So what the purpose of that, though, now I just screwed up the whole camera here.
You need a tech guy.
We need somebody to control the camera. So the reason that I went with the red colors, and the reason why you see so many restaurants that have red and so many other gyms or fight gyms especially that use the color red, is studies have proven that the color red promotes aggression, it promotes hunger, it promotes intensity. And so if you're in here and the color red is all around you, the idea is that when you walk in, subconsciously you already feel like, okay, I'm a little bit hyped up to do this. I want to work out. I feel like doing something energetic. Where other colors.
There is a huge reason why Facebook's notification color is red.
I've never even noticed that.
Yeah, it's red. It'll pop up.
So that you see it, so that it pops out. Plus you got all the blue and the white, so the red's going to stand out.
There's a lot of stuff on your phone where they want to push it that we use red.
Where other colors are shown to subconsciously affect mood and feeling. So like blues and greens tend to give more of a calming effect. Blues and greens will make you feel almost subdued.
Which is why you stay on Facebook for a long time. There's a lot of blue. There's a lot of blue.
Which always, like, whenever I see gyms or places they're trying to promote aggression, whenever I see blue, I start to go, what is their ulterior motive?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not worried about how you feel motivation-wise. Maybe they're trying to get you to relax to sell you something.
So what do you think? I think of the ideal classroom color that you could paint it, like for learning. What do you think of this color? Is like that kind of light yellow, that real light yellow, like cream, to sit in the classroom and learn. What do you think?
Something that would keep the students awake, but also not distract them.
Yeah, and then a lot of plants. So you have to have green too. So that color and then green.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of like when I was in elementary school. I can still remember. I can still remember all of the classrooms. They had like this kind of cream-colored brick, and the way that everything was set up. It's like you weren't distracted by the environment.
Yeah, there are reasons behind why that would be kind of like a calming, soothing.
Right.
You know, hey, now it's time to ramp down the aggression and be open to new ideas.
Right.
those colors facilitate that a lot. And
So-
then throw a little blue in.
So something as simple as the color design is set up to create that environment. And to me, environment and atmosphere are pretty much the same thing. Like atmosphere and environment, to me, they're pretty much interchangeable. The atmosphere that you set, except environment is a little more tangible.
Yeah, I think environment is what you think of when you think of changing things. Atmosphere is like the result.
Right.
So I made a change. Now, how did that affect the atmosphere?
Right. Atmosphere is more of a feeling and an energy, where the environment is real. But the environment is what helps create that atmosphere. So if we say, all right, in the gym, we're going to have everything set up a certain way. We're going to have the dumbbells in a certain place. We're going to have the cardio stuff in a certain place. We're going to have the lights even set up in a certain way. We're trying to create atmosphere with that. We also want to think about how the members and everybody interact with that environment to create atmosphere. That makes a big difference as well. But if you want to go on a more macro scale on environment, this is where I start to get into things like think of your home life.
Oh.
Think of home life. So you go home, that environment that you're in can either produce something that is very, very positive,
Dude, so
and you're energetic and you're ready to get up every day and face the world, or it can be this place where just everything is fucking negative and nobody talks, and it's just like, oh, okay, what am I gonna have to do next to distract myself?
And we've all probably experienced both of those polar opposites within one relationship, I would say.
Right.
Yeah,
Totally.
that happens with people all the time.
I think it's interesting to go like, okay, so all of our friends, they have families, they have kids and husbands and wives, and how you can go in one home and be like, okay, this is awkward. And then you go into another and you're like, oh wow, this is so positive. They're all, they all interact with each other, and they sit down at the table and they eat dinner together, or they watch movies, and it's almost, I don't know. Some of that makes me want to hit the puke emoji, but
I just saw this meme. It's the perfect example of that. Is the front of the board game box has like a family on it,
yeah,
and that family is like, and then it showed this image of like people in real life flipping the table because they lost.
They're stabbing each other.
Yeah. Or some kid spills a drink.
But an environment can help affect your state of mind. That's another big one, I think. The environment can go up into so many things: your atmosphere, your state of mind, your motivation, your inspiration, and all of that. That's why environment's so important, though, is it starts with that. If you take, here is a room, okay, we've got this box, this is our environment, and how we set up things inside this box can begin to affect all of those things: the atmosphere, the motivation, your state of mind. Because to me, state of mind, that's the most important thing to set, because if you're, and you're never in one state of mind constantly. I think we tend to be in one most of the time, but sometimes we can get put into those state of minds where we just, we're not thinking right, we're not motivated.
I think you fluctuate.
Yeah.
Fluctuate big time.
But you try to have one constant state of mind.
If you control the environment, I think it's more possible than just relying on the whim of what's going on.
And maybe, okay, so that's the important lesson here, is that sometimes when you get into those state of minds where you're like, okay, I don't feel like myself. Right now, I am thinking things, I'm saying things, and I'm making weird decisions. This isn't me. This isn't how I normally am. You have to stop and go, okay, wait, what is creating this state of mind right now? And how do you stop that state and flip into something else? And it's a change of environment. You might have to take wherever you're at that moment and walk into another room or get in your car and go somewhere so that you get into an environment that helps that state of mind.
I think really we're almost 99% under the control of our environment. You know, it's very easy to say, if this wasn't available here, I wouldn't be doing it, because it wouldn't be in the environment. I'd probably find something equally destructive to do, but it wouldn't be the same because the environment is controlled.
Now, is that a White Claw that you're drinking? Because I heard that
Yeah.
that's your favorite. That's your favorite
Dude.
drink. Jordan is a White Claw man.
You're a fake ass bitch.
Get your White Claw, buddy.
No.
So, environment. What are some other examples of? So it's easy to think like in gym terms because you're physically promoting aggression, or you can tell whenever somebody feels more motivated or energetic. What are some other things outside of fitness? We talked about like a classroom environment, but like a doctor's office. Look at a doctor's office, especially an adult office compared to the pediatricians. The different ways that they set up that environment, because when you're in an adult doctor's office, if you're in an adult medical setting, it's got to be.
No, they're selling you shit.
They are selling you things. That's why there's commercials for medications all around.
No toys to play with, but there's a model that shows you how some product will cure you.
But when you look at it, like everything is white or it's very, very light beige.
Oh,
everything is set up in a way to where it's as
calm the cows.
Yeah, where it doesn't create any type of emotion at all, because they want patients to come in and be honest. Not feel too threatened, but they want them to feel like they're in a sterile,
and
healthy
you're a little zonked. White is a kind of a little bit of a zonker.
Right.
A lot of computer programmers change their screen from white because they get it's just
they will
zonk you out a little bit.
And you figure if you're going into a doctor's office or an ER or whatever, and somebody's about to take a big needle and shove it in you or perform a surgery on you or whatever, you're going to want a color that will get people as zonked or sedated as possible. But if you look at the pediatrician's office, though, so now we're saying we need an environment where you've got children who are absolutely freaked out. They're so scared, they get scared of the doctor's office.
Give them a lot of stuffed animals. Order a lot of stuffed animals. We're going to need some stuffed animals in here. Come on.
You've got to create an environment in which the children aren't scared. So when you go to a pediatrician's office, you'll notice they have little borders that have like animals on it or the alphabet. Or they'll set up little games and tables and stuff. They'll have little toys there to get the kids to not feel so fearful. And then when you go into the doctor's office itself, the way that the doctor presents themselves, that's the environment. So when you got two different demographics, two different types, you've got to set that environment in a different way.
Well, I think there's that environment. And you can do a lot of tricks to control the environment.
Right.
But ultimately, the social environment is all that matters. Like if you're sitting in that doctor's office and people are weeping or throwing up, like if that's happening all around you, dude, you're going to freak out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, then it doesn't matter what the place looks like.
But if people are like, hey, would you like a shortbread cookie? And you take it and it's like, oh, thanks. Thanks. What's your name? Eleanor.
Eleanor.
Thanks, Eleanor.
Wasn't that one of the chip ads?
Would you like to dunk it in my warm tea? Would you like to dunk your shortbread cookie in my warm tea?
When did you turn to Miss Doubtfire?
That's Eleanor, dude. Eleanor's in your waiting room, not freaking you out.
Why is she British?
Huh?
Why is she British?
She immigrated. There was a guy. He was a banker from Iowa, but he ended up having a heritage trace to England, and he bought some property. And when he was out there viewing it, he ran into Eleanor, and she ultimately became a Yank.
No, you're channeling Robin Williams in old drag.
Probably.
But I get what you're saying. Still, the environment's set up to try to reduce the amount of societal emotions.
I think it's important, especially in the environment you're trying to create, because you have, that's great. You have the red color and you have the Teamsam logo and you have motivational shit all over the place. But if everybody that was in here was complaining and whining and missing all the time, you wouldn't have a core of people that would absorb the shock of when that does really happen to people. Like, we all mess up and, get out of sync and everything. But I feel like the core here doesn't get out of sync very often. Right. And they pull each other back in when you do get out of sync.
Which we started to. We had a period of time last summer where it was getting like that. And we eventually had to say, okay, we need to do some type of pattern disrupt here.
Yeah.
That's a situation. That's another podcast where we talk about toxic people and removing them. So even if you have an awesome environment, a toxic person can come in and start to create their own environment. Joyce says environment and mindset. I believe in mindset. I also make my family see the glass as half full just because that's just me. And Joyce, that's why you're awesome.
People who aren't like Joyce, I just thought of environment and culture. We could be saying culture right now. It's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like people that don't use the word environment, maybe that turns you off, but your word is culture. It's the same thing. It's super important. And social culture is way more infectious than this kind of other culture, this architectural or artistic culture. This is, I guess, artistic culture.
It is. And, another design aspect where I thought about how I want this to not feel like a gym, but I also don't want it to feel like it's a prissy salon. Our studio, our client base is easily 80% female. It's 80% females.
Per individual? Each individual is 80% female.
Yeah. You're a little less than that.
Oh.
But you grew up on a steamboat.
Dude, that whistle.
So our client base is about 80% female, and I knew this going in. Like this is how the personal trainer industry works. Is that we don't train as many males. Males are idiots, and they think they know how to do it themselves, and they don't, but they think they do. So it's hard to get men to pay for a coach, even though they need one. And I've been doing this job a long time. I've done this over 10 years. So not only do I know what the industry's like, I know what my niche is, okay? My niche is females ages 25 to 39 that want a nice ass and a flat stomach. Yes, some of them are older than that. Some of them are younger than that. And some of them might have different goals. But at the end of the day, almost all of them fit right around that bubble right there.
Do any of them want to be shot with a cannonball and catch it in their flat stomach?
No, they want to turn around and let it bounce off their ass.
Oh.
So
I forgot it's 2020.
That's the purpose of Booty Squad, is so that you can shoot a cannon at your ass and it bounces off your ass cheeks. So, but what I was saying was, when I look at what I know, what my core client demographic is, the kind that I bring in, that Michelle bring in, and what we were going to train here, it was mainly females ages 25 to 39 that want a nice ass and a flat stomach. So the first thing you think of is, okay, well, you want to make a place that's appealing to females and younger females. It goes beyond how the studio looks. What I did was, I talk to my clients all the time to figure out what is going on in their brain. What is it that they like?
You
what don't they like?
basically became their girlfriend.
I became their girlfriend. I became their big brother. All right,
no, you're more their girlfriend.
For most of them.
You gossip with them, girlfriend.
Well, yeah, Tyler. If Tyler was watching right now, no, Tyler would say I'm like her big brother. So I'm a girlfriend. Yeah. For most of them.
You heard that. I just got him to admit.
So you can only train around people for so long before you start getting into the whole catty.
Dude, you were even a girlfriend with a guy, weren't you?
Oh, Tony Monaco. But I wish Tony was watching. I know he's not. Okay, so really though, when we were opening the studio and we had to look at that, and we said, okay, so if our average demographic are females and they tend to skew a little younger than what other personal trainers do. And girls, you watching this, because I see some of you like Cheyenne Lynn and Silvana. When you go to other gyms, you'll see the ones working with personal trainers are usually a bit, I don't want to say old, but they're going to be like 50s.
What's some term we can come up with that's super
more mature. They're usually
soft.
more mature. They're usually more mature. But
seasoned.
They're more seasoned. The women that train at other gyms with personal trainers. Okay, I'm not saying the average gym member. I'm saying the ones that work with trainers at other places. They tend to be more seasoned. They're a little more mature. I would say like average age is going to be like mid-50s, and I am not calling that old. We have plenty of women that train here that are in their 50s and they kick ass, and they're awesome. Joyce, you are not an old lady.
You're marinated.
Dude, Ryan Ash, he said, quit putting over that supplement superstore, you mark. Which I gotta point this out real quick. Half a Jits right there. Click on his profile.
Oh yeah.
On his page, this is genius. It's him doing jujitsu against just things around his house. and he posts a video every day where it's him doing jujitsu on like a broomstick.
I want to see him eat a pasta meal.
It's fantastic. So click on his profile if you want to see some funny shit. But wait till the video's over. So anyway, when we're talking about our clientele here, they tend to skew a bit younger. And when I'm listening to the clients, because keep in mind, I did this for 8 years before I opened the studio, I would always ask them, what is it that you like about other gyms and what did you hate? And a big one that they did not like was they hate how often they get hit on by men. Men go up to women in gyms and they're completely idiots. And
What can we do?
if you go to Globo Gym or Club Fitness or any of these commercial places that cater to douchebag guys.
Does that happen anymore, or is it just all swiping on cell phones?
No, they do it. They do it. And how they'll do it, they'll come over and act like, they'll give advice.
But she has a cue in her cell phone already, so.
Right.
You can just say.
They'll always go over and give advice that the women didn't ask for, and it'll always be like, hey, you know, if you want to get bigger lats or if you want to do this with your squats, you got to do that. They will find ways to interject themselves. They will pretend like you don't know what you're doing.
If
They
you
will
want to
treat you
get
like
rid
an
of
idiot.
that underarm model.
And so,
we gotcha.
yeah, but that's a big complaint. That's one of the biggest complaints that I would always hear from the women I trained when we talk about commercial gyms was they hate how often men just interrupt them. It's like it's a distraction for them. And I'm not saying that like all of them are bad guys or that some of them aren't getting a little flattered by
Could
it.
I flip that around?
But they get distracted. It is a distraction.
I was going to say, sometimes certain women distract me.
Like Eleanor?
And I get distracted.
Eleanor from Miss Doubtfire?
Exactly. When she's power walking with the back brace on the treadmill and she does a 0.1 incline, dude, it's over. Just...
She offers you a cookie from her.
She doesn't have to offer. I know what's going on. I know what time it is when that happens. When the 0.1 degree up, you know she's feeling feisty that day.
She's one of them seasoned women we talked about. So.
Oh man.
But.
She's well brined.
Well brined. All right. We have some well brined members watching today. But that's what I'm getting at is there's a lot of distractions that women would point out that happen to them when they go to the big gyms. And so when we designed this, I wanted something that didn't feel like curves, okay? There's a reason that it's not pink and all flowery and bullshit like that. Like,
well, I remember your original body mechanic. Do you remember the pink robot?
Mm-hmm. And I learned from
robot.
that. But still, it was a robot.
At the time, it was cool.
And it was a badass, but that was a long time ago.
Hey, that just shows you the reinvent yourself process until you get it right.
Constantly.
And obviously.
But we wanted to make sure that the studio had a feel to it, to where that we kept the douchebags out. And now, okay, as the owner, I can screen people, okay? If some fuckboys want to come in here, I'm going to say, sorry. So we're going to be able to filter that out. But we also want the studio to look away. That wouldn't encourage guys like that to come in here. And so when you look at the way that the squat racks are set up and the kind of weights that we use, it's not something that a dude is necessarily going to think that a gym should look like, but it's perfect for what we do. But the flip side of that was the guy that helped design this, Ryan Daniels. He had won awards for designing salons. He also worked for hospitals, but he won quite a few awards for what he did with salons and the cosmetic industry. And so I told him, I was like, can we design something where the studio doesn't feel all like prissy? It doesn't feel too feminine. We're not trying to make it a feminine environment, but at the same time, so that it does cater to ladies. And so there were a few design elements that he put in that gave it a little bit of a softer feel, but not so much that it was insulting to women or that we were trying to be just overly generic in how we approach that. But it's also an environment that a bunch of douchebags aren't going to feel like they want to come in and work out. It was designed to be serious. And yes, we do accommodate guys, and they don't come in and feel like, oh, this is too feminine. But the way we set up, it was important that we hit that niche.
It feels kind of like the design of some electronic products where maybe it's not even that it's designed specifically for women, but that it hits this point in the middle that, you know, if you want to give a little up either way from your ego, a little piece of your ego, you can go from either direction. That because there are a lot of what impressed me about the group of guys here is that they're all very like regular Joe type guys, which is super refreshing, and I think that's helpful from, like we said, a social standpoint of everybody's real supportive and everything like that.
That is the purpose of this fitness movement that Michelle and I are starting down here at Team Sam. And if you go on YouTube and watch the episode before this, we talked about that, of creating a real fitness community. And by real, it means people that aren't out for an image. They're not just out trying to create this fake version of themselves to get likes or go on Instagram and shit like that. That's a lot of what you see in the big gyms.
Which there's nothing really wrong with that. If that's your game you're playing,
there's not,
good.
but it,
like all the success in the world.
Oh, completely, and that's why people form their own little circles.
Yeah.
But I've learned that for that average person, or for the main clientele, that kind of stuff turns them off.
Well, you're gonna find, so it's kind of like that 1,000 True Fans thing we've talked about a lot. So the idea being, you have some teeny tiny slice of the pie, but that slice of the pie is very specific.
Right.
And if you can fulfill their needs, man, they love you if you can fulfill their needs. And that's what you're trying to do, is find that, I feel like, kind of the slice of the pie. And by find, I mean, there's going to be some people that this isn't. Like, they've been around for a year or so with you, and they've been loyal members, but it turns out this is not what's going down for them. And then there's people that think they got it figured out, and then they'll hear about you, and they'll try you and go, oh, I'm so glad I swapped over. So you're going to have this like edge that's refined over time, I think, and it'll get sharper and sharper.
I've always felt
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right on. And this is something I've talked about a lot in previous videos, is the cool thing with well, not just the gym industry. I think everything nowadays, we have gotten to where we can be so specific with what we want. So take television, for example. Less and less people are getting cable because they don't want 300 channels. They only watch maybe 2 or 3 of those.
Never did.
So everything now is through streaming services, where you can decide, okay, I want this app because I'm into baseball, so I get the MLB app, and then I also watch a lot of Netflix, or I watch a lot of YouTube. These are the 3 ways that I consume my media. So you're able to get very specific with it. And I think in other industries, like clothing and all that, like, you're able to get more specific with what you're doing. That's the cool thing now, is we're starting to get away from the big gym models, and we're getting into more smaller studios like us.
Oh yeah.
Because people can say, well, this is the type of atmosphere I want, or this is the style of training I want. And that's why it is important to realize the gym that you pick to work out at, make sure that it fits your personality. There's gonna be so many of you that go to a place where you're like, oh, this is a cool gym, but the type of people that work out here, they aren't me. And I recognize that. That's actually why whenever we hit a little down space last summer, because I was trying to accommodate everybody. I thought, okay,
I don't want a part of this downspace memory. I'll be back.
I tried to take and say, okay, well, if this is my niche, what if I open this up to try to reach a mainstream? What if I try to get more people? And so I'm going to adjust how I talk. I'm going to adjust the things that I say. I would even adjust like the way that my advertisements looked. And what happened was I took what my niche was, I took what my flavor was, and I started to bland that out a lot. And it wound up turning off more people than it brought in. And so what I learned from that was you gotta have something that fits your personality, but don't try to be anything. Don't try to just be everything with that. So that's why in these podcasts and the videos I do, I'm very open with my cursing. I'll say fuck, shit, damn, whatever. I want people to see this is what they're getting into. And if this isn't for you, cool. You know, there's other gyms out there, and that's not a negative thing. But that's why we don't hold back too much. When people join here and they're in our classes, they hear some pretty vulgar, some pretty obscene things, because that's how our sense of humor is. And they will hear cursing, and they'll hear music that the commercial gyms can't play. But we want to do that because that's our personality, that's our style. And it's like cool that we're to a point that we can just say that. We can say, look, if you come in and you try this out, you're going to have a great workout. But if the environment and how we work doesn't fit your personality, that's great though, because there's other places out there that might do that. And on the flip side, there are so many people that go to studios or gyms And they go, it was a very good gym, but it didn't fit who I am. And that's where they wind up coming in here and they go, wow, this place feels real. They talk to me like an adult. They don't treat me like a child. That shit, whenever I see like Fit Body Boot Camp and Orange Theory and Burn Boot Camp, they all do this shit and I can't stand it where they encourage their members, like every 10 visits, they take a picture, they get a certificate, and they get like a star and a smiley face on it. It's like some kindergarten bullshit. And they take a picture with it and say, I did 10 workouts, yay! And then at like their 20th workout, they get a cookie and a fucking badge. And I'm like, treating people like kindergartners. So here we don't do that. Here we do the things to treat them like adults, which is we use adult language. We say adult things. We offer an adult type podcast. But those are the things you're able to do whenever you're trying to say, hey, look, we're not out to reach every flavor. We're not out to try to reach every personality. We have our specific style, and if you fit it, awesome, you're gonna love it here. But if you don't, then cool, there's a bunch of other flavors out there that you can try, and maybe you'll find your fit. But I think most of the people watching this, they're already into our style. They're already into
your flavor.
Yeah. So
into the Feel Good flavor on Feel Good Friday.
Feel Good
Thank
Friday.
you for joining us.
Oh, let's use that to lead into the big 8-week fitness challenge. This is a big one. This is going to be the biggest one we ever did because we are coming out of a pandemic. Everybody's been at home for the last 5-6 weeks, however long, and they've been stuffing their face. They've been sitting around watching a lot of TV, on their phones a lot, and
It's been the worst.
unfortunately, there's a lot of people that were doing that way before all of this started. And there's many of you that are trying. There are many of you that are like, hey, I've been following your videos, Sam. I've been jogging around the neighborhood. I'm trying, but the environment that I'm in is very, very hard to stay motivated. Joy says it's the personalization with you guys and both of you and Michelle knowing what we're capable of. It's personalized. Let's see the rest. It's personalized, but also a small boutique style. Exactly. We're not so... Something that has been very important to me since day one is that I know everybody's names. I know all of your names, and I try to learn what all of you are coming from. I try to learn what your jobs are, what your home life is like, and I learn what is it that drove you to come here.
Sounds a little creepy.
It's a little creepy, but
it's a touch of creepy.
It's to help people to go, hey, look.
Do you ever find yourself with binoculars just on the other side of a hedgerow?
No, you can tell that you have done this a few times, and I bet it has to do with Eleanor from Gold's Gym.
I just wanted to know where she hid the money. Just wanted to.
So, but yeah, it's important that we know your background. We want to know who you are. Where other places you come in, you swipe your card. They only know your name because they look at the screen. They look at they can't just say, "Oh, have a good workout, Joyce." They have to go click, look at your name, and then go, "Oh, have a good workout, Joyce."
No, and they go, huh, Joyce.
But here we don't want to be like that. We want to know people. We want to treat them like real people. At other places,
huh, Joyce.
At other places, you're just a dollar sign. You're not a Joyce. You're not a Miranda. You're just a dollar sign at other places. And so here we want to go and make sure that we know everybody. We know what they're coming from. We know what their backgrounds are, because that's the stuff that's okay. And Michelle's watching. Michelle is so good at this, where she'll have a booty squad class. She'll have 10 girls, and she knows each one of them. She knows each one's going to have different motivations. Each one's going to have a different demeanor. Each one's got a different attitude. Every got a different way that they approach life. And she's going to use that to motivate each one of them. So let's say if they're doing hip thrusters that day, we got a circuit set up. Whenever they come over there by Michelle to do the hip thrusters, she'll think of different ways to get that person to feel more energetic. Like if they're having a bad day, we follow each other on social media. We talk about stuff. We know how life is going. And so she's able to get them right there when it's just those two.
That's a good teacher.
And understand, hey, this is maybe if you're down today, I know what's got you down. So throw some of that in, but also get the workout done. And even if they're already in a good mood and they're ready to go, it's like how to feed off of that. And it's not a psychological tactic in some bad way either. It's just, it's good to know what is somebody coming from, because we're all different. We all have such different things that motivate us. We all have so many different things going on in our personal lives. We have stuff that, other people don't know what the hell is going on. Other people don't know what you're doing at home. Everybody don't know like what the fuck is stressing you out, or all these things that are going on that you don't present outwardly until maybe that one moment. You have that one moment where you're at the gym and it just all comes crashing down. It's nice. It's nice whenever we know what they're going through, so we can say, hey, I know what's going on. Or why it's awesome that our members also, how do I put this, that it's called personal training for a reason. One of my old mentors, Sean Hunter, said this. He goes, we got to put the personal in personal training, because we have to know what people are coming from to motivate them. And so it's not just that we follow people on social media and we know they have kids. What happens is we find out,
dude, this is sounding creepier all the time. You just hear me said it, and then he said,
yeah, but you're a teacher. So if you know the background of your kids, if you know, dude, this kid goes home.
I don't know any details.
Right, yeah, right.
To me, they're student number 1.
I don't know, because Kristen Daffron has told me this.
Student number 3, student number 4,
right.
Student number 5.
They're
I don't know anything. I would never know how to contact them.
They're like the student in the Pink Floyd video where the students march and they fall into the meat grinder, and then you grind them up in a hamburger.
Exactly, and then I season them.
And they all got their flat face masks on.
Not anymore.
But come on, if you have a student, if you have a student and you know that at home, they come from a very low-income house. They don't get to eat. Their mom and dad are fighting, or there's this, or there's that, or it's just them and their mom.
It's totally different.
And
they're totally different.
Yes, and when you understand that, you go, okay, I understand with this student, I'm going to have to motivate them different than this one. That's why it's important with us. Whenever we understand what our client's coming from, when we understand, okay, our client's going through this, they just had this happen, this is going on in their life, and it's shit. Or again, like I said, we have stuff going on at home that most people don't know about. And it just builds and builds.
What's weird,
when you know that about somebody, something as simple though as doing an exercise, doing a hip thruster. When you know that and you get that person over there, and again, Michelle is fantastic at this.
Good teacher.
You know that little thing to say, hey, I know right now he's stressing you out, or I know right now that this is going wrong, or I know right now school is just, it's breaking you down, but we're going to get through this just like you're going to get through that. Shit like that. Mm-hmm. And that's what I feel separates us from where you go to Burn Boot Camp or Orange Theory or Club Fitness or whatever.
That's very interesting. The thing that I've learned most as a teacher is that relationships really matter.
Yes. Yes.
I could have a kid, I had a kid that we got into it big time because they were way out of line. And it was just an explosion one day. Yeah. But we had a relationship, and the next day, we just both looked at each other and go, I'm sorry. At the exact same time, because we knew that this was not something that was going to end. It was just going to keep going. Right. So having that relationship gets you over what could otherwise be some spaz move by somebody. It's like, oh my God. And they freak out and they write some Yelp review, and then they call the manager.
Karen, hey Karen, I need to speak to the manager. I was in boot camp one morning and Michelle said the word shit, and I was so appalled that someone would talk to me in such a harsh way. Wait a second, so you were at a boot camp and Michelle said shit? Oh, I just couldn't believe the way that she talked to me. She said shit. Okay, how old are you? Excuse me, what does that have to do with anything? How old are you? I am 38. Okay, so you're 38 and you're offended by the word shit, you're at the wrong place. So there was my way to bring that around to examples that have happened here and why it's important that you find gyms, you find people, you find relationships that fit you. It is so important. It is so important. If they don't, then you just go someplace else. Go to the other gyms. But let's segue this to the 8-week challenge.
I was going to say, you lost me a long time ago as an audience member, dude. What does any of this have to do with the 8-week challenge?
I was trying to find a way to bring this back to the 8-week challenge. All right, so we got a few minutes left of the podcast. I want to talk about the 8-week challenge again because it's coming up. All right, the government, well, I think we're getting to where we don't care what the government says, but I know that all of the surrounding
Missouri
counties,
government, dude.
the Missouri government said, hey, on May 4th, we want to start opening things up. And St. Louis County, which is unfortunately where we're located, like we are right on the edge of St. Louis County. It's like, here's us, and then Jefferson County is right there.
Decision time, man. Venn diagram. St. Louis County is inside Missouri.
That's a great way to put it. But the state and things are opening up. So there are many gyms that are allowed to start opening. And I'm not going to say that we're just going to start opening no matter what, but I'm kind of saying that. Anyway, the way the things are playing out. Now, St. Louis County is saying mid-May, so you figure May 15th, 16th, whatever. That's why we pushed the challenge to start on May 25th. So May 25th gives us plenty of time for everything to open and us still do this legally. Team Sam members know that sometimes we like to do things that are against the rules, but it's because it will lead to something that is much, much greater later on. May 25th, though, we should be good to have our normal size classes, doing everything like we are, our full schedule, back to our 5 a.m.s and 9 p.m.s and all that stuff. And we can take new members then. So that is why we are taking signups for the 8-week challenge now. In fact, we started on Monday, and we've already had several people sign up for this. There have been a lot of Team Sam. There's been a lot of Team Sam members that have bought in. There have been several new people that have signed up. And as we roll along here, our plan is to make this the biggest challenge that we have ever had. And the New Year's one came pretty damn close to that. Because of that, though, those of you watching that are considering doing the challenge, those of you that are not Team Sam members, those of you that are outsiders, I need you to understand something. Our studio can only accommodate so many people. And this has happened in the past where we get to a certain number of signups and we have to stop. We get sold out. Okay? And selling out's not always a bad thing. And it's important that you do not wait on this. If you're thinking about doing it, stop thinking, stop procrastinating. Thinking and procrastinating, it's good to think ahead a little bit, but when you start to think too much, you will think yourself out of things. Don't do that. Do you know how many people have told me before, I thought about doing your class, I thought about doing your challenge, and they wait like 2 or 3 years, and then they finally do it, and they do incredible. And
yes, damn it. But we have a problem that you're not addressing.
What's that?
So easy for you to say. I'm representing you, audience.
What's
easy
that?
for you to say. So you pick this summer challenge to be right in the Memorial Day weekend to after July 4th when many people will have vacations. Now I say this selfishly,
right?
Because I signed up for the challenge, but I had 2 weeks of vacation and I split them, one in May, one in July. In fact, I'm going to have to cut my vacation short to come back to do the last physical challenge.
The summer challenge.
What would you say to somebody who's sitting there going, I have this plan already, I can't do your challenge?
They can do the challenge, and this is it. We do these.
We've done.
This isn't our first summer challenge. We understand that in the summer, you guys got vacation time. You're going to be going places. You got a lot of stuff going on. So every year,
not too far and not around too many people. So calm down.
Yeah. So we know that. And every year we offer a little leeway where we say, okay, first let us know what the weeks are going to be that you won't be able to do the classes. And before, what we would do is we would tell them, okay, you still have to get your 2 workouts during the week. So if you're off in Disneyland or whatever, you got to send us pictures of you working out at least twice during the week so that you have evidence that you still hit your workouts. But here's where this year's even better. This year, we're going to have online workout videos because we started doing these. We started doing this last month. We're going to continue those live boot camp videos. So the Monday and Wednesday one, those are not going away. The plan is to keep these going and find ways to bring them to you guys even better.
That's
so
a great idea.
This is the first time we've ever had a challenge where you don't even have to be here to participate. So those of you watching, if you're like, I don't live around the area, I've got another gym that I go to, you can still be a part of the challenge. But here's the thing, okay? One of the challenge criteria is you have to do at least 2 Teamsam workouts a week. Now, for those that are members, you'll want to be here at the studio doing it. All right. Our online workouts are great, but you're never going to have the experience that you do here, where we have the equipment and the environment and the motivation. It's a different experience. So if you're already a member, it's best that you get at least 2 of those workouts here at the studio.
I felt that was super important when I did the last challenge. That part of it was super important because I got to meet people.
Definitely.
That kept me.
They keep you motivated. That community keeps you motivated. But this time around, we now have the online workouts. So as long as you can send evidence that you did the video. So if you're out on vacation and you send us a screenshot with the video on your TV or your computer and you're doing the workout along with it, that counts as the workout. And that's going to help many people even during the challenge. So if they can make it in here 2 times a week, that's awesome. But maybe they got to do the video at home to get the other ones. But this opens up the capability of people who are not members here, who don't even live within the area. You don't have to even live in Missouri.
Yeah, it keeps you from being a total schlub on your vacation too. I found like a lot of times I'd be excited about vacation, and so I'd put a lot of effort into getting, a little bit more physically fit before my vacation, so I could look good in photographs and look good at the beach and shit like that. But that awesome routine I built up, I got knocked out of it after I'm gone for 11 days, 11 days of eating and drinking and, just living it up. Sleeping in, during vacation, staying up late, it wasn't good. So to sprinkle a little of that in with video classes might actually act like a little buffer.
And it keeps people connected to us. The thing I've heard so much during all this time off, people said, the thing I like about the videos is I still hear you yelling at me.
Perfect.
It's that Pavlov dog thing where they could do other workout videos, they could do things at home, but the thing they get out of being here is it's that, maybe it's a parental thing. It's that mother and father voice of Michelle and I talking to them.
It's in the moment when you want to quit. If you were the only one you were letting down, you'd quit.
Right.
Because you're like, obviously whoever I is, want to. But when there's somebody external to you that you're like, oh, they're going to think I'm a piece of shit or a pussy or whatever if I quit right now, or that I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe that gets you an extra 5 seconds. Maybe that gets you maybe that gets you an extra 1 rep. Dude, that's important.
But the fact that they're hearing their trainer's voice, it's not just Jillian Michaels. It's
because of the relationship we talked about earlier.
That's the thing they liked, and that's what's cool about the videos.
That's why you can.
Even if you can't make it here to the studio, if you're someone that doesn't live around the area, especially, the online workouts will continue going. And when we're finished, we always post these to our YouTube page. So it doesn't mean that if you're on vacation that you have to do Monday and Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Okay, you missed it. You go to the YouTube page and do the video whenever you have the chance to do it. But I think for those that are members, you get so used to hearing Michelle, and you get used to hearing me, and you get used to our cues. You hear Michelle when she goes, all right, ladies, we're there. That's her thing. With me, I always say, and break. And it's that long, drawn-out thing.
And break, thank God.
When you have that, it makes you feel like you're at home. So even if you are in some hotel and you're in Disney World or whatever, doing those videos and hearing us give you those cues are going to make you feel more motivated than if you did some fucking generic video.
I give some of my students who need it, nicknames, because when they know they hear that nickname, that's time to turn it on. You're, come on, kangaroo.
Kangaroo. So the videos will be a big component of this challenge that we didn't use before. What's going to be fun is using all of the criteria from our New Year's challenge. So the New Year's one, we have never had the results that we had from the New Year's challenge any other time. The amount of people that lost 20, 30 pounds. One of the winners, Joe, lost 49 pounds in 8 weeks. That's insane. And it's not even a biggest loser competition, but it's just he crushed it. Okay, you couldn't ignore that. Now for every challenge, we have 2 winners. Each challenge has 2 winners, and they split the jackpot. So whatever that jackpot gets up to, they're going to split it. So last challenge, Joe won $950 and Katie won $950.
I heard Joe won 951 and Katie was 949.
They can
What
fight
the
over
hell?
They can fight over that dollar. But this is going to be a cash prize challenge. So we have two winners. What we look at is, okay, who is that person that lost the most weight? Who went in and just on numbers lost a ton of weight? The thing is, many of our members don't need to lose any weight. And if they do, it's like that average 5 to 10 pounds that every female thinks they need to lose. The other winner, we call it a transformation. So let's say that you don't really have a lot of weight to lose. Maybe you're not maybe you need to gain weight. Maybe you're somebody that feels like you need to put on an extra 10 or 20
Or maybe
pounds.
you do, just that that's what you want to do. That's your goal.
That's your goal. Maybe you want to fill that booty out. You want to add some muscle.
Like actually my goal, I think for this time around, is not even going to be on the weight front. It's going to be on the challenge part.
Right, the
last
physical
challenge part.
So, but that's why we have two winners. Is one of them is more just overall transformation and performance based. The other one is that like Biggest Loser. But we don't want one to outweigh the other. It's like it's equal there, a Biggest Loser and then the transformation one. And when I say transformation, it's that person that maybe they leaned out a lot. Maybe they came in and they were already in a good weight.
Eleanor.
Like Eleanor.
At that time.
But they leaned out or they had a really good before and after picture. They had a tremendous body fat loss and a great muscle gain. So that's my thing is don't think you shouldn't do an 8-week challenge because you don't need to lose weight. Ours isn't just based on losing weight. We have a jackpot and we split it down the middle between the Biggest Loser and then the best transformation. We just started this and the jackpot's already up to $600. Now I'm anticipating that we get that jackpot somewhere over $3,000. So two people will be splitting whatever that total number is. And we still have a few weeks until this is up there. But we can only take so many people in the studio. So we have a certain number that when we hit so many registered, we have to stop taking new ones, which is why I say don't procrastinate, don't wait on this. The other reason why you shouldn't wait is that each week that you sign up early, you get an additional $10 off on your discount. So right now, if you sign up, it's only $99. If you're already a Team Sam member, it's only $29 to buy in. $20 goes towards the jackpot. So right now, if you sign up, you get $30 off with the cost of the challenges. It's $99. That gives you unlimited access to all of our boot camps, our HIIT workouts, our kickboxing, all of that stuff for the 8-week period for only $99. Plus, it puts you into the drawing for the jackpot if you win. Each week that you wait on Monday, it goes up by another $10. So if you wait till Monday to sign up, it's not going to be $99 anymore. That's right.
Lose $10.
It'll be $109, and each week it goes up by 10 until that final week, which is $129.
Imagine some paper-eating weevil is loose, and it gets your $20 bill because you waited 2 weeks.
Because you waited. It's
Eats
gone.
That was you. You're the weevil.
Don't be a weevil. Sign up for it now. It's very simple. You can either go to Team Sam PT, okay, teamsampt.com. Scroll down, click the 8-week challenge picture, go there, get signed up. Or you can Venmo.
No link in the video for YouTube?
I'll put one up on here. The reason I didn't was Facebook will restrict who sees stuff. So if I put a link up on whenever I posted this, less of you would have seen it.
You got to tell the people on YouTube, though, that there will be a link in the video.
Oh, yeah, that'll be on there. But to sign up,
if you say it.
There's 2 ways you can do it. If you're not a Team Sam member already and you want 8 weeks of unlimited access to our boot camps, kickboxing, HIIT workouts, nutrition accountability, and just all the fun shit that comes with our 8-week challenge, plus a chance at being the winner and getting some money, go to teamsampt.com. Get signed up. Or if you're someone that uses Venmo, this is even easier. Go to Venmo. Our Venmo is at TS Personal Training. Very simple. At TS Personal Training. Venmo us the $99 or the $29 if you're already a Team Sam member. And then from there, I'll send you an email and get you set up on the app. And then you'll be ready to start booking classes on May 25th. So the challenge, I know so many people are excited and ready to get back out there, start working on their fitness. I know a lot of people that before this didn't care much about their health. But now that we're finding out that people that are in shape, that have a good respiratory system, that aren't overweight, guess what? This virus ain't doing as much.
This is life insurance.
It's life insurance. There you go. So the challenge is a good way that if you were one of those that normally would just be a New Year's resolutioner, let's get that mentality of go, 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 and jump on it. So the 8-week challenge starts May 25th, but signups are happening now. You get $10 off each week that you sign up early. So right now it's $30 off, but if you wait till Monday, it goes up by $10. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below or shoot me a direct message. Jordan, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. How can people find you on social media?
I hate social media.
Well, then they'd have to come to the studio at 6 o'clock on Fridays to see you.
You can go to expandthevisual.com.
Okay.
So that's expand like the gas, and then the like the article, and visual like your sense.
And you can always friend request Jordan at Jordan Taylor. I will tag him to this.
Hey, I got a proposal for you.
Let's see. Joey says, how do we do the weigh-in and body fat percentage each week if we can't come in? We are going to do the first and the last ones at S2.
What about like an out-of-stater?
But for the other, well, that's what's great is First Form, Supplement Superstore, is a nationwide chain now. So almost wherever you're at, there's always an S2 store. So we're going to be getting on working with them to where your first and last weigh-ins, you got to do at their store. As far as each week, if you can't come in, you could do a video. You could always do a video. Just show proof that that everything was legit. You can send videos to us. We just want evidence that we had it. But and that's one of those, if you absolutely can't make it in, there's ways to do that at home. And really, all the weigh-ins from weeks 2 through 7, we don't have to check those anyways. Those are to check on your own. It's the first and the last, though, that we got to have done at the S2 store so that we use their in-body scanners and get as accurate as we can. We know nothing's like going and sitting in a pool and getting some type of hydrolysis machine, but yeah, this will be a cool one though, because you don't have to necessarily be here to participate in this one. It's the same cost. So if you're wondering, yes, it's still $99 even if you're not planning on coming in, but you still get access to all that. So if you're planning on doing it online, but you want to drop in for some, you would have the ability to do that. Anyway.
I have an idea.
What's that?
So how about after the summer challenge, that next Friday afterward, or no, the Friday before, no, the next Friday, after the test, the Saturday test, that next Friday you could reveal the winners, or pick whatever Friday you want, but you could do it a live show.
Well, we will, because it's at a party. We throw a party every year. When we
so if COVID's cool and you can actually get together, you could do a live show and announce them there. Or if not, you could do some sort of streaming with people on here.
Right, which all of this is anticipating that by May 25th, we're going to be allowed to be back in operation. Even if we have to keep the class size to 10 people, you know that most of our classes stay close to that. The boot camp ones are bigger, but we might do some split times there to where we can still accommodate the large groups. But I'm pretty sure, I'm feeling confident that by May 25th, we'll be good to be back to business as usual. Now, if for some reason it's still under some type of restricted order and you bought the challenge and you're not confident about it, I will issue refunds, definitely.
You're bumming me out.
But I'm planning on being open. I'm planning on being open next week. 4 members only. All right, that's it. We're going to wrap this up, guys. If you only caught the end of this and you want to see more, go to YouTube, search Teamsam Fitness, subscribe to our channel. That's where we put all of our Monday and Wednesday boot camps. That's where we put all of our podcasts. They go up on the YouTube page. Our YouTube channel has exploded over the last month. Like, it's insane. We have over 10,000 minutes watched in the last month. That's a lot of stuff. So we as always, we appreciate your guys' support. Thank you for sharing our content, for talking about it, for tagging us and doing all that stuff. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. I'm going to post this now.
Feel good.